Step, something in my jeans. FOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and I got a very special guest today. We got brother Isaiah D. Muhammad. He goes by Prince of Peace on social media, if you don't know by now. The first question, I just want to go straight into it. Were you born in a nation, or did you get the teachings, outside for those watching?
All praise is due to Allah. First and foremost, in the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful, we bear witness that there is none deserving of worship besides Allah, and that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I want to thank you, first and foremost, for allowing me to come on this illustrious platform. I see all the work that you're doing, and may Allah continue to bless you in all your efforts. But to answer your question, I was actually blessed to be born in the Nation of Islam, thanks to my mother, Sister Cynthia Muhammad, and Brother Donald Muhammad, who birthed myself and my brother in the nation. So I was gracious, I was blessed to have the teachings since birth. So all praises are due to Allah.
Yes, sir. And how was that process? Because, when a lot of people think of people born in a nation, they may think, strict household, what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of people that were born in it, but they may fall off, fall out of, the mosque and everything. How was that for you? Did you have a falling out period? Did you rebel a little bit? Can you just describe your experience growing up in the Nation of Islam?
Well, I want to thank again my parents, because when it came to Islam, it was no need to force it on myself or my brother, because we were always surrounded around it. My mother took myself and my brother out of elementary school in about the 2nd grade and homeschooled us into the 4th grade. Then she thought enough of us and the other Muslim children at that time to start a school entitled School of Original Thought that took all the way from preschool up until the 12th grade. And I was blessed to graduate from the School of Original Thought at the age of 15. But my household, I would say, wasn't strict, but I would say that it was Islam-centered, meaning everything that we did was based off of the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the dietary law, the laws, the rules, the regulations. So me growing up, I knew nothing else. And the way Islam was given to me and taught to me, I didn't want to know anything else. All I wanted to do was strive to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and strive to promote the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I saw the transformative power that it had, not only with my mother and my father, but thousands of others that came in contact with these teachings as well.
Yes, sir. And a lot of people seeing this, they see like a young brother, and they may be asking, because there's a lot of young brothers maybe watching this, and they may be asking, like, were you scared of the discipline? Because we see the brothers, there's a restrictive law that the brothers follow, and we see this world, a lot of brothers, we want to, be with the ladies. We want to sleep around. We want to get that Henny. We want to get that, that weed and that vape.
Right.
Was it hard for you just being so young in the nation and accepting the teachings at such a young age? Were you not scared? Like, man, I got a lot to give up.
That's a good question. And I would say myself, going to the School of Original Thought, we were blessed to graduate at the age of 15. And me going into the, I guess, with quote unquote real world or into college, as soon as I got in, I literally had no desire for what everybody else was doing. I had no desire to go into that, because I've been shown the right way since a very young age. So I was never perfect, but I just knew right from wrong. I knew that what the world offered is not what I wanted. And I knew that it was basically a falsified fantasy that, has been displayed to us. So I never wanted part of it. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I just never wanted part in what everybody else was doing. So I wouldn't say that it's a hindrance or a burden. It's actually, I always look at it like this. I look at the law as when you're riding a roller coaster, right? When you have to put the seatbelt on or the contraption to fasten you in, that doesn't stop you from having fun. That contraption that you put on your seatbelt protects you while you are having fun. So the law that we have protects you, because if you don't have any law, you're not protected. So I thank Allah for the law and the restrictive laws because it keeps us right on point, especially if we submit to it and strive to carry it out the best way that we can.
Yes, sir. What would you say to those watching this and they, they may agree with you and say, yeah, I want to change, but it's just so hard to give up the women. It's so hard to give up the weed, the vape. It's so hard to give up the pork and the bad food. What would you say to those suffering that want to do better, but this world is so enticing that it's hard for them to do it?
Right. I would also, I would always say that it starts with the mind. And I always tell those that say it's so hard to give that stuff up, I always remind them that you weren't born with that. You weren't born with the weed. You weren't born with the vape. You weren't born with all of these things that you're battling with. That came later on. So if you weren't born with it, then you know that you can live without it. Then I would also say that, we've been taught, it says in the scriptures, I think in the book of Romans, chapter 12, the second chapter, if I'm not mistaken, where it says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It all starts with your mind. If you can change the way you think, you can change your actions, because everything first starts with an idea. Ideas then become words and words become actions. So if you change the way that you think, everything else will fall right into place. But you have to have enough willpower to strive to want to do better. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that 100% dissatisfaction brings about 100% change. You have to be 100% dissatisfied with the life that you live in to bring about change. So when you put a clean glass near a dirty glass, like the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he said, you never have to condemn a people. All you have to do is sit that clean glass near a dirty glass and let them make the decision. So when you have an example in your midst that shows you that clean glass next to that dirty glass, we don't have to tell you to get better. We don't have to tell you to give that up. We don't have to tell you to put down those temptations. The example that you see will speak and show you what you can be if you do put down those temptations.
Yes, sir. What would you tell to those watching us, like they want to register in the nation, but they just may not see it as cool? They see the brothers, they have to wear bow ties and, they have to follow the restricted law. They say the sisters in a long dress. They may think, it's old fashioned, They see the brothers talking this righteous talk that may be like old fashioned to them. What would you tell those that, may not think the nation is cool for them because they may be hard body. They may, they may still want to play basketball. They still may want to have interests, but they scared that joining the nation, they're going to have to be restrictive, in their personality.
Right. Now, that's a good question. And a lot of times, just based off of perception, people may have that idea when it comes to nation. But I want to let the brothers know that all watching this, or sisters, and this is the best thing that I make. This is the best decision that you could ever make because it doesn't hinder you or restrict you. It really opens you up to different avenues that you never would have came in contact if you didn't submit to these teachings. So I would urge everybody just to learn more about the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, represented to us by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Because like Jesus said in the book of John, he said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And our leader and teacher, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, nobody has a better track record than him at speaking truth. So when you hear this truth, your mind will start to work because Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said these teachings contain three essentials. He said light, life, and power. And nothing that light touches stays the same. Imagine you being asleep inside of your bed, right? And your eyes are closed, but when that light starts to permeate through those blinds and go past those eyelids, at a certain point, you can try to stay asleep. You can try to stay asleep. But at a certain point, when that light touches you, you're going to wake up. So brothers and sisters, we have to let you all know that this world's main objective is to put you to sleep. This world's main objective is to distract you. This world's main objective is to turn you away from the proper way of living because this world is diametrically opposed to righteousness. So when you come in contact with the righteousness that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan display to us, we'll understand that this is our nature. You never have to teach a cat how to meow like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this morning. You never have to teach a dog how to bark. So we've been taught that you never have to teach the black man and woman about religion. All you have to do is teach them about their nature and they'll walk right back into their religion. So this is your nature, black man. This is your nature, black woman. So all you have to do is do those 6 words, accept your own and be yourself.
Okay. Now I'm on your Instagram right now, and I see you. You know, we see you rocking the Supreme. We see you rocking the J's. You know, the four wheelers. You know, a lot of people watching this may think you can't even get into those things when you join the nation. You know what I'm saying? So just talk about that. Like, you still enjoy yourself, and you still rock clothing, and you still have a sneaker collection, and you still have fun while you in the nation.
Oh, absolutely. It's always, you gotta have a balance, and we've been taught that of course you can have fun as long as it's in the realm of the restrictive laws and not stepping, or exceeding the restrictive laws. But it's certain things that I'm never gonna give up. I'm never gonna give up buying sneakers. I'm never gonna give up wearing certain clothes. You know what I mean? As long as it's in the borders of the restrictive laws. So, and this is just something that I like, and it allows me to express who I am. I don't have to change certain things up. If it does not fit inside of the laws of the restrictive laws, then yes, then I do have to switch it up. But you mean to tell me I can't wear sneakers? You mean to tell me I can't wear a certain type of clothing instead? Because what we think a lot of times is that when you come into these, you have to be one way. Everybody has to dress the same way. Everybody has to live the same. Everybody has to think the same way. Now we have brothers that come in at 16, and we have brothers that are in the nation at 70. It's different things that these brothers may be into, but that still doesn't take away from them being a Muslim. So we want to let the brothers know, yeah, you can still wear sneakers. Yeah, you can still wear Supreme. Yeah, you can still rock designer. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the midst of all of that, up under all of that, we're striving to get to the soul of our people. We're striving to get to the heart of our people. So if I'm wearing that, I a lot of times I call those unspeakables, right? I may walk up to a brother and I may be wearing a certain thing. We're not talking about it, but he looking me up and down. Bang, you got all whites on? Okay. All right. And you got Supreme on? Okay. And now what that does, that allows me to say something, you'll take it better coming from me just based off of what I'm wearing. But this is what I like. I'm not wearing it because you like it. I'm wearing it because I like it. So I would say to the brothers that, as long as it's in the realm of the restrictive laws, so all praises I do to Allah.
Yes, sir. I only got 2 questions left. I don't want to hold you up.
No, take your time. I'm here. Take your time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was breaking up a little bit, but
yeah, you heard me. You heard me.
Yeah,
I was saying take your time. I was saying take your time. I'm here. I'm good.
Yes, sir. What do you think about those that see the brothers in the nation and they may look at it as corny? The brothers that you follow the restricted laws. They see you with the bow ties, and it might come off as quote unquote soft, or what I'm saying, punctified. What would you say to those that think I want to be in the nation, but I don't want to be looked at as soft or punctified, or even how you brothers study and stuff? They may say that's acting white. So what would you say to people like that have that kind of mindset and opinion about the nation?
Man, I would say, based off of the misunderstanding that they may have, I wouldn't beat them up, but I would say to them that Muhammad don't make nothing weak. Muhammad don't make no punks. See, I remember we were speaking to the brothers in the prison one time, and when you speak to the brothers in the prison, I'm talking about brothers that may not come home. I'm talking about brothers that went in there for doing real crimes. And the same brothers that a lot of times these young brothers look up to in the streets, these are the same brothers that's coming to the followers of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan asking for advice. These are the same brothers that's coming to the followers of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan asking how can they live a better life. Because nobody is harder than God. Nobody is tougher than God. Nobody puts in more work than God. So when you understand and you get connected to God, it's nobody harder than that. And we always tell our brothers, when you study, they can't take that away from you. They can take away your money. They can take away your car. They can take away your house, but they can't take away your knowledge. That's why a lot of times brothers get locked up and they have nothing but time. They pick up this book. They pick up the books of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they start to study because all they have is time on their hands. So when you start to study and you start to learn, and we taught that you can't grow if you don't know, and you can't earn if you don't learn. So we have to read, we have to study. And we already always heard that if you want to hide something from a black person, you put it in a book.
Mm.
Because we as Black people have what is called bibliophobia. See, arachnophobia means that you're scared of spiders, right? Bibliophobia literally means that you're scared of books. And the reason why we as a people may be scared to read or scared of books is because when we was enslaved, it was illegal for the Black man to read. It was illegal for the Black man, the Black woman to read. So now that may have been passed down through our DNA. So now we don't want to pick up a book. We don't want to read. That's exactly what the enemy wants. They don't want us to read because you no longer be a slave when you know what knows. So it was always their understanding and their idea to keep us functionally illiterate. One example of us reading, has anybody ever heard of the man Rick Ross? I'm not talking about the rapper. I'm talking about Freeway Rick Ross, the one who Rick Ross, the rapper, got his name from. He said when he went into prison, he was illiterate. He could not read or write. But at a certain point, he kept reading and kept reading and kept reading. He taught himself how to reread, retaught himself the ABCs. But then at a certain point, he read something in a law book, which he took to the judge and it reversed his sentence. So if he didn't learn how to read, he would literally still be sitting in jail today. So the truth will set you free. And at that portion and at that point with Rick Ross, it set him free. So we got to tell our brothers, it's cool to open up a book because everything that you want out of life can be found inside of a book.
Yes, sir. And I have one more question for you. What would you tell people that's thinking about registering or thinking about processing the nation and they may just not be there yet? What advice would you tell them?
I would tell them that understanding doesn't come before submission. Submission comes before understanding. It's certain things that we may not understand at this point, but the minute that we submit ourselves, then we'll find that understanding will come after. A lot of us, when we were younger, would tell us to do a lot of things that we didn't understand, but we submitted to it. We didn't understand why we had to make up our bed, but we submitted to it. We didn't understand why we had to take out the trash, but we submitted to it. We didn't understand why we had to put away the games and go to sleep by 8, but we submitted to it. And later on in life, after our submission came, the understanding came, oh, now I see why I had to be in the bed at a certain time because I had to wake up at a certain time. Oh, now I understand why I got to take the trash out because if I don't, it's going to start piling up. Oh, now I see why I have to do my homework. See, the understanding came after the submission. So brothers and sisters, it's a lot of things that you may not understand. But when you submit, the earlier you submit, the quicker your understanding will come. And these men, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, are two of the most misunderstood people on the face of this planet Earth. These are two Black men that have literally been fighting for our salvation for over 90 years, them two combined. So when you look at these two men, always ask yourself, if a man won't treat you right, what makes you think that he will teach you right? So you never learned about these two Black men because the same oppressors that put us in this condition are the same ones that are teaching us. So anytime there's a person that this educational system does not teach you about, 9 times out of 10, you should go learn about that person because that's the person that you really need to be learning about. Look at it like this. If I'm a slave master and I want to keep people oppressed, why would I introduce you to somebody that can break the chains and break you from our oppression? That's backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the one who's really going to set you free, and I'm going to pacify you with quote unquote Black leaders. And I'm going to teach you all about these Black leaders only in Black History Month, which makes no sense. How we only have 1 month to study our history, but we study their history the other 11 months. How do we have 28 days to study our history, but we Black 365 days? So we shouldn't take a month. We shouldn't take a day. We should be studying our history every single day and look deeper and find what they're not teaching us in the educational system. Because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us that this educational system has flatlined. And in these educational systems and this school system is the killing fields for our children. So I would say, brothers and sisters, just come on. You don't got nothing else better to do. Because when you submit to these teachings, you're not going to do nothing but except for grow. You're going to grow spiritually. You're going to grow mentally. You're going to grow financially. You're going to grow in all these facets. So you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain. So join the Nation of Islam under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the representation of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes, sir. And I agree with that message. But I just want to say Salam Alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak.
Salam, Ramadan Kareem.
I just want to say, man, I definitely got to have a part 2 after Ramadan.
Yeah. Okay, inshallah. Yes, sir.
Inshallah, yes, sir. I just want to
Yes,
say, I pray to Allah that he continues to bless and protect you and your family. And I just want to give you the greetings and Salam Alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, Soldier. I appreciate the opportunity again. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. Thank you.